You're listening to Good Morning Gwinnett, a division of ABK Media Group, hosted by Audrey Bell Kearney, sharing stories about people and places around beautiful Gwinnett County every day at 9 a.m. Southern living at its best.
Good morning, and welcome to another edition of Good Morning Gwinnett. I'm your host, Audrey Bell Kearney. So glad to be here with you this morning. A little chilly here in Gwinnett County. I think it's around 41 degrees, but that's okay because we're here nonetheless and happy to be here. Hope you're having a wonderful Hump Day Wednesday. I know it's a very early part of the day, and you're probably thinking, man, my day just started, so there's nothing wonderful about it. However, I must say, if you open your eyes and open up your eyes this morning, put your feet on the floor, was able to walk, talk, breathe, hear, smell, taste, touch, think, and grow, it could still be a very great day. You just got to make it a choice to be. So listen, I'm here today. I want to talk to you about my, I do this segment every morning. I try to anyway when I remember, and I've been doing pretty good so far at remembering what is going on. So at the top of the hour, I love to talk about people helping people. Today, I'm going to talk about people helping animals. People helping animals. The Society of Humane Friends of Georgia, they are an organization that take care of pet adoptions. They help pet and cats and dogs find homes. They also help them get shots and get neutered and spayed and things like that, because a lot of times we'll have a pet and we can no longer take care of that pet, and so you have to have somewhere to put it, and you don't want to euthanize the poor pet, so the Society of Humane Friends of Georgia take those pets in and find them a good place to live. They have a whole adoption process, applications and everything, and they do dogs and cats. And you can go online and check them out. Now, here's the other thing, too. This Sunday, as a matter of fact, this Sunday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., the Gwinnett County of Animal Welfare is hosting a vaccine clinic. And what happens is when you go to that vaccine clinic and get your animal vaccinated, a part of those proceeds, all of the proceeds go to benefit the Society of Humane Friends of Georgia. To get your pet rabies vaccination is $10. Microchipping is $25. Now, listen. The summer is coming. The rabid animals are going to be out there. You want to make sure your pet is vaccinated. We have a little small dog. Her name is Diamond. Maybe I'll post a picture on Good Morning Gwinnett of Diamond. But we get her vaccinated every year because she's a fighter. She's a little dog. She has like the Napoleon syndrome. They said Napoleon had a syndrome because he was a little short man. Well, she's a little tiny dog, and she is a mean little dog. And it's so bad because sometimes we have to put her away. We have to put her away when people come around because she doesn't know how to act, and she's like 6 pounds, but she's a little monster, and she'll run up on anything. So we have to make sure that we vaccinate her because she is a little monster. She run up on big dogs. Like one day there was I think he wasn't a Rottweiler because he might have been a Rottweiler. He wasn't a pit bull. Big dog, big black dog. The dog had got out of the, I guess the owner let him out or something to use the bathroom, but he was like kind of just wandering around, and we didn't see the dog, and we let her out. We took her out, and we normally let her just walk by herself when we're walking with her. Well, the dog come around the corner, and she see the dog, and she take off after the dog. Here's the funny thing. The big dog ran. I mean, she's 6 pounds. He's about 100 pounds. He took off running. I could not believe it. I was like, oh, my God, this dog is crazy. But she'll chase anything. She'll chase squirrels. She'll chase a raccoon. She'll chase a possum. She'll chase anything. That's why it's so important to get your animals vaccinated, especially in the summertime, because that's when all the animals come out in the summertime. So if you want to take advantage of the vaccine clinic this Sunday between 2 and 4, you can do that by going to 884 Winder Highway in Lawrenceville. They'll be there from 2 to 4 giving vaccines out. All right. Cool. Got that out the way. Want to bring you more news. If you are a veteran and you want to just go out and hang out with some other veterans and learn how to fill out VA claims and medical forms and get some educational resources on housing and jobs and resources and more. This morning, today, between 1 and 3, you can drop in on a meeting that takes place the second Wednesday of each month. And it's going to be at the Buford Library, located at 2100 Buford Highway in Buford, Georgia. And that's today at 1 p.m. from 1 to 3. So you got a couple hours to hang out and just hang out with other veterans, get to talk. You get to talk to people who understand your plight. There's nothing like being able to talk to people who understand who you are and what you're trying to do. Nothing like it in the world. And for veterans, sometimes that's a good thing because, these are guys and girls who have gone through what you're going through. They understand your plight. They understand, what it's all about to be a veteran. And it's a good time to come out and get some camaraderie and just be in a space where you can feel safe and comfortable. So the Veterans Roundtable, I'm meeting today, 1 p.m. at the Buford Branch Library located at 2100 Buford Highway in Buford, Georgia. Go out there, hang out, meet some new friends, get out the house. Beautiful crisp day here. Okay, I saw this article about a company called Street Grace. Now, this is another nonprofit, and I normally do one, but this one was pretty interesting. And what they do is they shine a spotlight on human trafficking, and that's really important because there's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of children that go missing a lot of times, and people don't know what happened to them, and they get sold into slavery, sex slavery, and so human trafficking is a big problem, and this company, Street Grace, is trying to take actions to put a lid on that problem, to do whatever they can do to stop it and make you aware of what's going on. So if you want to know more about Street Grace, you can go to their website, streetgrace.org, and find out what they're doing over there. They have some wonderful initiatives that you can get involved in to help stop human trafficking. I mean, it's a really big problem. It's not just a big problem in the United States. It's a big problem around the world. And it's, they're trying to end domestic minor sex trafficking, and so help them do that. We want to eradicate that evil industry is what they're saying. And I totally agree. It's a terrible, terrible thing to be able to have someone that, go missing and have them possibly been sold into slavery, sex slavery, and things like that. I met one young lady, this was years ago, probably about 5 years ago. That was her story. She had a very interesting story, and it's funny because when I was living in Jersey, we didn't hear a lot about that. I know it was going on, but it wasn't something that I heard about. And I remember when I moved here, someone told me, be very careful about that. And I was like, really? And when I moved to Georgia, and I remember I freaked out because, at the time when I moved here 5 years ago, my daughter was 20, she was 23. She was about to turn 23. And she went for a job interview, and it was with an attorney and an accountant, I think it was. But she went to the interview. She told me she got the job. It was in Atlanta. She told me she got the job. And then the gentleman that hired her, we're from Jersey. It's a job interview. You kind of just like, okay. He told her to meet him at his apartment because he was in Midtown. It was closer, blah, blah, blah. And she did, right? Wasn't really thinking. And I hadn't heard about this whole human trafficking thing until after the fact. And so she met him. He told her she had the job and everything. So she came back. She was excited because we had only been here probably 3 months maybe. And so she came back and she told me about it. So a couple of days later, he called and said, hey, listen, I want you to meet us at Bahama Breeze. I want you to meet some of my partners. And so she said, okay. So she go to Bahama Breeze. And when she get there, it's a whole bunch of accountants, because he was an accountant. That's what it was. He was an accountant. It was a whole bunch of accountants, all whom were male accountants. And they were there. And she said she just sat there the whole time. And so she said she was not a part of the conversation. It was like, she was just there. And she's like, that was pretty weird. So I thought that was pretty weird. And by this time I did a little research. Well, he called her back. And I said to her, listen, you're going to turn that job down. I said, you're not taking that job. So you call him back and let him know that you're not taking that job. I felt really crazy. Like my gut was like, that's not a good sign. Anyway, she called him back to tell him, you know what, I'm going to have to decline your job offer. I'm going to look for something else. And he said, okay. He called her back about 3 days later and said, hey, listen, we're having a party downtown Atlanta at a loft. It's a $3 million loft, and we want you to come. And the last girl we hired, she met her husband there. He was from England. He was a millionaire. What kind of nonsense was that? Well, I felt like it was a trick. So human trafficking is real, and we want to be able to, help these young women understand, like, when you hear these amazing offers that sound too good to be true, normally they are. Because a lot of times you can get kind of suckered into like, okay, this great job, this great opportunity, and we want to make sure that we put a stop to that. So Street Grace is one of the organizations out here that's doing some great things. Check them out, streetgrace.org, and help them keep moving this mission forward, because we have to stop human trafficking in America and around the world if we can. All right. I got a lot of news for you this morning. A lot of news. Okay, what else we got going on? Okay, so listen. Discovery Park public input meeting is coming up January 17th at 7 p.m. Discovery Park is a new park that they're developing. It's going to function as a community park for all ages. Gwinnett Parks and Recreation values public opinion. So if you have an opinion about this park and you want to share that opinion about this park or any future projects, go out January 17th. It's open to the general public. It's going to be at Discovery High School. That's a beautiful, beautiful high school that's been open a few years here in Lawrenceville. It is a really nice school, and they're doing a park now. So if you want to give your input about what's going on and what, your thoughts on the Discovery Park site, go on over there, because don't wait till it's all done and say, why did they put this here? I hear that a lot. So I go to this site called, I think it's called Nextdoor, and people are always bitching and moaning about something. Excuse my French if any children are listening. I didn't mean to say that. But there's a site out there, and I hear people complaining about a lot of stuff. And I wonder, do they go to these meetings to give their input before these things happen? Don't wait till it happened, and then now you want to give your input, because it's useless. Go out now. If you have any kind of input you want to share, it's open to the general public. It's at Discovery High School, 1335 Old North Cross Road in Lawrenceville, January 17th at 7 p.m. All right, so listen, that's that. Now we're going to get on to what's happening. So if you are a business owner and you want to come out and network early in the morning, Gwinnett Business Before Hours is hosted by the Gwinnett Chamber, 7:30 a.m. in the morning. I'm normally out there networking at 7:30 a.m. So if you want to do that, you can go out there and check us out. If you are not a member of the Gwinnett Chamber, you get to come for 2 free visits and network with a lot of great people. That's tomorrow morning, 7:30 a.m., 6500 Sugarloaf Parkway, Duluth. Got 20 ideas in 20 minutes. I like this one. We did this the last time I went to the meeting. And it was really cool because you get to sit to a table and you get to put your ideas out there on the table. And whatever the idea is for, I think they come up with a different topic for the 20 ideas, but it's 20 ideas in 20 minutes. And then everybody get to go around and talk about what it is. I think tomorrow they're going to be talking about different takes on marketing, which is great because I love marketing. And so I'll be happy to participate in that particular one. Marketing, social media, sales, what's worked for you. And that's kind of cool because a lot of people do a lot of things differently or do different things. And so it's kind of interesting to hear. It's almost like having case studies live. Like if you've ever read a case study, it's like normally something about what was the problem, what was the solution, and what was the outcome. Well, this is kind of like a live case study tomorrow because now people are going to be talking about what they did to market their business. And you could probably get some really helpful tips out of this meeting because you got about probably 50 people in the room sharing ideas about what they did to grow their business and market their business and create sales for themselves that you may not have even thought about. So, come out tomorrow morning, check it out. I know it's really early, and if you're not an early bird, I understand. They have other opportunities for you to come out and network. I'm an early bird, so 7:30 in the morning, I'll be there. If you see me, say hi, stop by, wave at me, do something, wink at me. Hello, Audrey, how you doing? I'll be there. 6500 Sugarloaf Parkway in Duluth, the Gwinnett Chamber of Commerce, Business Before Hours. Okay. Listen, so my business tip for today is talking about you being a creative mess. A creative mess. Now, here's the thing. If you are a business owner, 9 times out of 10, you need some kind of creative something done. You might need a flyer. You may need a logo. You may need a jingle for your business. You may need a video. You need something creative. And if you are not using things that are creative, then your business is probably going to appear very boring. And you may think, I don't need any of that stuff in my business, but you do because you are in a competitive market today. There are so many businesses out there today that you have to have a competitive edge. And so you want to have some kind of creativity going on in your business. So you may be a creative mess. You may not know how to create anything. You may know your business and that's it. And that's cool because a lot of us are like that. We know. I kind of talked about it yesterday. I'm not a creative interior designer. I'm not a decorator. I'm not a stager. I'm not an organizer. I'm just not. But if you tell me, hey, Audrey, I need you to learn a piece of technology to build something, I am that person. I can learn that technology to build something. But if you tell me to decorate something, and it's so sad because I took sculpting in college because I want to be creative and I got an F. Who gets an F in college in sculpting? It's clay. I got an F in sculpting because I'm not that person. Now I can come up with good names for things. I'm a good name person. I'm a good jingle kind of person, that kind of person. But if I have to decorate something or sew something or knit something or draw something, forget about it. I'm a mess. There are a lot of us out there like that who are a creative mess, and you may be. So I want to give you 3 places that you can go and get some help, because if you need a logo, don't try to do it yourself, because people are going to look at it and say, okay, she did that herself. He did that himself. And it's not going to work if you're not that creative, and you don't want to look like a mess when people go to your website, when people get your business card. You want to look nice and professional, and you want to have something catchy, a catchy title, catchy name, a catchy logo, something that people are going to remember you by. I'm always coming up with like I came up with 2. I was at the doctor office day before yesterday, and I was driving, and 2 names, and I'm good at names, 2 names came to me, and I was like, oh, those are really cool. I'm going to use those. You may need a catchy slogan. You just may not be that person. You may need an intro for your video, an intro for your podcast. You may need a jingle, something. I'm going to give you 3 places to check out where you can get this information from or get this help from, and you don't have to be that creative. Now, you got to be able to express what it is you're looking for when you talk to these people, because they can't read your mind. And then you also don't want to just say, hey, this is what I want, just give me something. Because they're going to just give you something. And then you're going to have to go back and do all these revisions, and then you're going to have to pay for that. So you want to have some idea of what you want before you even talk to someone. At least you can give them a general idea. This is what I'm looking for. These are the colors that I'm looking for. Give them some samples. Go online to Google, look at your industry, look at what you do. Check out the logos. If you go to Google and you type in, let's say you type in pocketbooks, purses, right? And you want a logo of a purse. Let's say you type in purse logos, right? You go to Google, you type in purse logo. You click on the images tab after you type that in, and all these different logos are going to pop up there for purses. I tell you, it will. And you may see one that you like and say, you know what? Okay, I like this one, so I need something similar. Not the same, because you're going to be infringing on somebody's trademark or copyright. But you want something similar. That way you give the person that's doing your creative work for you the opportunity to say, okay, I see what they're looking for. Let me give them something. I did that about a month ago. I wanted something very unique that would stand out on a t-shirt. And I went online and I looked at some different logos and things like that. I realized what I was looking for had a lot of clean lines. It didn't have a lot of art in it. It was just clean. And when I sent the guy the different pictures, and when he sent it back to me, I was in love. I was like, oh, this is it. And then I had somebody say to me, man, I really like that logo. It's like for a project that I'm doing later on, but I had someone look at it and it's like, I really like that. A couple people. But he hit it nail on. I told him my colors. I gave him some samples, and it was the clean lines that I was looking for. I wasn't sure what it was I was looking for. I just knew that when I went in there and I put in logos, I forgot what I put it in for. All these logos came up, and they were all pretty much around the same. And I was like, that's it. That's the logo that I wanted, and it's very nice. And it's something that I'm working on. It's a project for women, and I'll be releasing it later on this year. But I knew that it would look nice on a t-shirt, and that's what I was looking for. So if you are looking for ways to get your creative work done and you don't want to have to do it yourself, I'm going to talk to you about a few things here. So the first thing I'm going to talk to you about is Thumbtack. So a few years ago, I found out about Thumbtack because I was doing PR work for people, and I said, I want to get some more clients. And when I say PR work, I was doing press release distribution, which is a service that we offer. I wanted to get more clients, and so what I did was I heard about Thumbtack through a friend who was a video producer. He said, listen, I'm on Thumbtack, and I get work all the time. And I was like, really? What is Thumbtack? I didn't know what it was, and he told me what it was. So it's a site that allows you to go there, list your service, and when people need your service, you'll get an email notice or a text message that this person is looking for your service, and that way you can go ahead and bid on their work. Now, You have to be fast if you are a provider. If you're not a provider and you are a customer, you just go there and type in what you're looking for and put it out there, and it's going to go out to all these people that provide the services that you're looking for. And then you have to, whoever meets your criteria and meets your price point, then you can go with that person. Thumbtack is pretty cool like that. So they get to bid on your job. Upworks is pretty much the same way. You go out there, you put out a job, what you're looking for, and I'm telling you, there are people on these platforms that can pretty much do anything you could possibly think of. Upworks, I used Upworks when it was called, I think it was called Guru.com, and I used that for coding. Like, I was releasing my company, HerTube, and now on Thumbtack, I was a provider. I was doing press release distribution. For Upworks, I was a customer, but at the time it was called Guru.com, and I was looking for computer coders and programmers to help me launch HerTube, and I didn't know how to code. I didn't know what the heck I was doing, so I needed someone who knew how to build out my platform. Now, I could tell you, I'm going to tell you a horror story, and so you got to be very careful when you use these platforms so they understand what you're talking about, because this is what happened to me. So I went on there. I was looking for someone to build me a platform like Netflix, right? Because HerTube is a platform for women that's very similar to a Netflix. And so I went on there. I told them my company name. It was called HerTube, like YouTube, but HerTube. And I told them I wanted something very similar to Netflix. And they gave me back a price point. And now here's the thing. The cheapest person is not always the best person. So you're going to be very careful about that, because I didn't have a big budget. So I didn't have like $45,000, but I was able to scrape up a few $1,000. And I was like, okay, this person, he's done some work. So they had a little, they got a little rating thing there that they've done work and how much work they've done. I said, okay, so they probably can do what I want to get done. Well, I paid the money, so you put it in like an escrow account or whatever, and you go and they do the work. When I tell you, now I didn't know how to program, but I knew a little bit about WordPress, so I knew that if you sent me a wireframe with nothing on it, like that was nothing. Like I knew that, like I could go in there and do a template and get some stuff done that looked better than what they sent me. They could not understand what I was talking about. They were in India, and I'm not, no slight to anybody from India. I'm just talking about sometimes there are language barriers. So when you're trying to articulate what you want, you have to make sure that people understand. My programmers were in India, so we had a time frame problem, because I would have to stay up to midnight to talk to them, which I'm normally in the bed by midnight. Even though I thought I was articulating exactly what I wanted, they did not get it. And so we went back and forth for months. So I just finally just gave up. Like, you know what? I'm just going to give up on working with these people, because they're not seeing the vision. I'm not articulating it correctly. Something is not right. The dots are not connecting. And so I had to give up on it. So I did, because it was driving me insane. And so I don't know if you ever tried to launch a tech company, but a tech company, you need good programmers on your team, right? You may be the visionary, but you need good programmers on your team. So I was the visionary. I had the vision, but for some reason, the vision that I had in my head was not coming across to my programmers. And for months, it just drove me crazy. So I finally just gave up working with them. I didn't give up the project because HerTube actually launched, but I gave up working with them because I said, okay, I didn't even, I let them keep the money, because you only had to pay like a part of the money. I let them keep the money. I was done. I was like, okay, I'm done. I can't do it anymore. So if you use Upworks, you just want to make sure, any of these platforms I'm talking about, you want to make sure that you articulate exactly what it is you want. Now, here's my favorite. I got two favorites I'm going to talk about. So I'm going to talk about this favorite first. This is my favorite. It's called Fiverr. F is in Frank, I, V is in Victor, ERR.com, Fiverr. Now, if you have not heard of Fiverr, you might want to hear Fiverr. I use Fiverr for pretty much everything that I need to do creatively, because I'm not a creative person. My book covers, I just got a book cover done. So if you go to Good Morning Gwinnett and you see my new book coming out called You Got Something to Say, that was done on Fiverr. I gave them a color scheme. I sent them a picture. And it's so funny because when you look at it, it looks pretty simple, right? And it is pretty simple. But I just said, this is what I want. I want something that's cute. I didn't have to make any revisions, because I was able to tell them what I want. I paid $25 for that cover on Fiverr. Now, I know graphic artists are going to thumb their nose at Fiverr. Some of them are anyway, but Fiverr has a new pro division, so you can go there and you can see some stuff. When we first started using Fiverr, everything was $5. Now, just remember, I just said I paid $25 for the cover. But when Fiverr first launched, everything was $5. But some of the work looked like it was for $5. So let me just be clear about that. Now Fiverr has, and Fiverr's not paying me. I'm just telling you some of the tools that I've used and I've participated in as a provider that has helped me to grow my business and move it forward and help alleviate some of the pressure that I put on myself when I need to get things done that I cannot do. And so there are probably a lot of things that you need to get done that you just cannot do, and you need to find somebody that can do it. These are the places that you go to find those people. Whether you need copywriting done, you need a video done, you need an intro done. I'm not a good copywriter, right? I'm not. I know that. So I'll have somebody write some copy for me because I'm not a good copywriter. There are people out there that's all that they do is copyright. If you think you're a good writer, give it to a copywriter. I guarantee you they'll rip it to shreds. Guarantee it. Because most of the time you're not. That's not what you do. You may be the person that make the water bottles and you're really good at water bottles, but you think, you know what, I'm going to write the copy for this water bottle. And you may have a good message about the water bottle, but I guarantee you a great copywriter can make your message sound a lot better. And I'm working with copywriters right now. Now, don't look at the website because some of the stuff I wrote myself because I just have not gotten around to it with the rebranding. However, I do understand the importance of a copywriter. But you may need a copywriter. You may need someone to do social media for you. I know if you're in business, you have not heard about SEO, then you've been living under a rock, and you might want to come from under a rock like right now. But what the heck is SEO? Search engine optimization. That still doesn't tell you anything. But there are people out there who that's all they do is SEO. And instead of you trying to learn how to do SEO, and trust me, I was like, I'm going to learn how to do SEO. No, I did not. I was like, okay, forget this crap. I don't got time to understand how to build a link and all that kind of stuff. So there are people out there that do everything you need to do, especially on Fiverr. On all these platforms, you just got to go there, make sure that when you go there, what you're doing is you can afford to get done, because now Fiverr starts at $5 all the way up probably to like $5,000, because there's some really great people on there with some really great track records in mainstream media and mainstream marketing and mainstream businesses who said, you know what, let me go on over to Fiverr because, hey, they have opened it up to me, and now I'm on here charging $3,000 for something that used to be $5, but I'm a real professional. Not saying that everybody on Fiverr is not. There's some people, just starting out, they're trying to get their feet wet. It's a good place to start. So Fiverr is one of my favorite places. The intro that you heard at the beginning of the show, Fiverr. The outro that you're going to hear at the end of the show, Fiverr. One of my favorite places. Excuse me. Now, this very last place, if you just say, you know what, I just want to do this. I need to get it done right now. I can't wait for 3 days, because sometimes on Fiverr they tell you 3 days, 5 days. It's going to take 7 days. Now, when people start saying it's going to take them 14 days to do something for me, I normally do not use them. I don't even look at them. I'm like, 14 days here, I can't wait that long. So if you have just a little bit of artistic ability, just a little bit, there's a site called Canva, Canva. You can go there. They have amazing templates to do things. If you need to do a banner for your Facebook page, it says Facebook banner or Facebook page. You click that, you drop in some artwork, you put in some text on there. You got a beautiful piece for your Facebook banner. You just got to have a little bit of artistic ability to use Canva. They have a free program and they have a paid program. You just got to choose which one works for you. And so that's my roundup. If you are a creative mess, these are some places you can go to get the creative work done that you need to get done. Or if you want to just do it yourself, you can go to Canva. All of these are the resources that I use pretty much on a daily basis, because I do a lot of stuff with the work that I do. I build Fire TV apps. Sometimes people don't have the artwork for their channel. Sometimes people don't even have a logo. They don't even have a logo. They don't have the artwork for their channel sometimes. So I'll go on in and I'll build them some artwork, and now it's done. Now they have a complete channel. Everything is ready to go. They're up on Fire TV or Roku. And so there it is. So listen, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'll be back again tomorrow with another great episode. More news and interesting information about things happening around Gwinnett County. This is where I live and work and play. Love it here. Glad to be able to share a little bit about Gwinnett County and to give you a business tip every day. And next week I'll have some guests on me to talk about, business and how they got started. Like I started out the top of this week with a guest. Got some very interesting things coming down the pike. I did mention at the beginning of the year I was going to have I was going to be starting a Gwinnett County book club. And Good Morning Gwinnett book, not Gwinnett County. Well, if you're in Gwinnett County, you're welcome to join. But it's a book club. And I'll be talking about the book that I'm reading tomorrow. And so sharing that book with you. So if you want to get in on the Good Morning Gwinnett book club, feel free to do that. I'll share the title of the book tomorrow on another episode. Listen, if you missed the episode, if you missed yesterday's episode or any episode, go to goodmorninggwinnett.com. Check out all the episodes there because they're there for you to go back and listen on demand when you have the time. I'll be back again tomorrow. And I just want to close the day out with a nice little quote. It says, "You don't have to be perfect to be loved." Let me just say that again. This is my inspiration for the day. You don't have to be perfect to be loved. With that said, I'll be back again tomorrow, God willing. Until next time, make it a great day. Bye now.
You've been listening to Good Morning Gwinnett. Make sure to tune in daily at 9 a.m. Eastern Time to find out what's happening around Gwinnett. If you miss an episode, go to www.goodmorninggwinnett.com to catch up. If you like this episode, go ahead and subscribe to the show now and share it with your friends.